Many Americans mistakenly believe that the Constitution grants them their rights. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of the document's purpose and a dangerous precedent to set. The Constitution doesn't grant rights. It recognizes and protects them. It serves as a safeguard against the infringement of these rights. Our rights are not gifts from the government. They are inherent to our humanity. They are intrinsic to our very existence. Think of it this way. The government is like a security guard. A security guard doesn't give you the right to own your house. He simply protects that right from being violated. The right to own property is yours by virtue of your existence. Similarly, the government doesn't grant us freedom of speech or the right to bear arms. These rights are pre-existing and fundamental. It's tasked with safeguarding these pre-existing liberties. This distinction is crucial for maintaining a free society. If we believe the government is the source of our rights, then it follows that the government can also take them away. This is a slippery slope. This is a recipe for tyranny. History has shown us the dangers of such a belief. Our founding fathers understood this, and they fought tirelessly to ensure that our rights were enshrined in a document that would withstand the test of time. They knew the importance of a written guarantee. The Constitution is not a source of rights, but a shield against their infringement. It is a protective barrier. It's a testament to the belief that our liberties are not granted by any earthly power, but are inherent to our existence as free men and women. This belief is central to our identity. This principle is the bedrock of American freedom, and it's one that we must never forget. It is the foundation upon which our nation stands. The Declaration of Independence, a document brimming with timeless truths, boldly proclaims that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. These rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, are not bestowed by any king, emperor, or government. They are God-given, inherent to our being, and inviolable by any earthly authority. This concept, revolutionary in its time, stands in stark contrast to the notion of rights granted by the ruling class. Our founding fathers understood that true liberty flows from the recognition of our inherent dignity as human beings created in the image of God. This divine spark within each of us is the wellspring of our unalienable rights. To suggest that these rights originate from government is to put the cart before the horse. Governments are instituted among men to secure these rights, not to dispense them as privileges. The very purpose of government, as envisioned by our founding fathers, is to protect the individual's God-given freedoms. The belief in God-given rights is not merely a quaint historical artifact. It is the bedrock of American liberty. It is the foundation upon which our republic stands and the guiding principle that must continue to shape our understanding of freedom. John Locke, the brilliant English philosopher whose ideas profoundly influenced our founding fathers, articulated the principle of consent of the governed. This principle, enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, asserts that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. In other words, the government's authority is not absolute or divinely ordained. It flows from the people it governs. This concept strikes at the heart of tyranny, which relies on the subjugation of the individual to the arbitrary will of the ruler. Locke's philosophy empowers individuals, reminding us that we are the ultimate source of political legitimacy. The Constitution, with its emphasis on limited government and individual rights, is a testament to this principle. It's a contract between the governed and the government, outlining the boundaries of power and the safeguards of liberty. The government, in this framework, is not our master, but our servant, entrusted with specific powers to protect our God-given rights. This understanding of the relationship between the individual and the government is essential for a free society. When we forget that power ultimately resides in the people, we risk falling prey to tyranny, where the government becomes the master and the people its servants. Section 4. The First Freedom, a bulwark against tyranny. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution stands as a powerful testament to the importance of free speech in a free society. It is a beacon of hope and a shield against oppression. It reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, These words are not just ink on paper, but a living promise to every citizen, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, a fundamental aspect of our democratic process, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. This right ensures that the voices of the people are heard and respected. These words, simple yet profound, are the bedrock of American liberty. They form the foundation upon which our freedoms stand. They recognize that a free and open exchange of ideas is essential for a healthy republic. Without this exchange, our society would stagnate. When the government can dictate what we can say, write, or think, it ceases to be a government of the people and becomes a tool of oppression. This is a dangerous path that leads to the erosion of all freedoms. The Founding Fathers understood that free speech is not merely a right, but a responsibility. It is a duty we owe to ourselves and to future generations. It's through open debate, even when it's uncomfortable or challenging, that we refine our ideas, expose falsehoods, and hold our leaders accountable. This process is vital for the progress and integrity of our nation. A society that silences dissent is a society on the path to tyranny. History has shown us the dangers of suppressing free speech. The First Amendment is not a suggestion, but a command. It is a clear mandate that protects our most cherished freedoms. It's a clear and unambiguous directive to the government to keep its hands off our fundamental right to express ourselves freely. This protection is crucial for the maintenance of a free society. It's a bulwark against tyranny, a safeguard of liberty, and a cornerstone of the American experiment. It is a testament to the enduring power of freedom and the resilience of the human spirit. Section 5. The Essence of Freedom. Understanding negative rights. To fully appreciate the brilliance of the Constitution, we must grasp the concept of negative rights. These rights are fundamental to the American ethos and the very foundation of our democratic society. These rights, enshrined in the Bill of Rights, are not entitlements bestowed by the government, but rather freedoms that the government is prohibited from infringing upon. They are the bedrock of our liberties. Think of it this way. A negative right is not something the government gives you. It's something the government cannot take away. This concept is essential to understanding our freedoms. The right to free speech, for example, doesn't mean the government has to provide you with a platform or an audience. It means the government can't silence you for expressing your views. This distinction is crucial for maintaining a free society. When we view rights as government handouts, we open the door to endless expansion of government power. This has led to a slippery slope where individual freedoms have been eroded. But when we understand rights as negative constraints on government, we protect individual liberty and limit the scope of government intrusion. This understanding is vital for preserving our freedoms. The Founding Fathers were wary of government overreach and understood that the best way to secure liberty was to define clear boundaries for government action. They meticulously crafted the Constitution to reflect this principle. Negative rights in this context are not limitations on freedom, but the very essence of freedom itself. They ensure that our liberties are protected from any form of tyranny. They are the safeguards that protect us from the tyranny of the majority and ensure that the government remains our servant, not our master. Understanding and valuing these rights is crucial for the preservation of our democratic ideals. The irony of freedom is encapsulated in the very words of our Constitution. Consider the First Amendment, which begins with the phrase, "Congress shall make no law," and the Second Amendment, which ends with, "shall not be infringed." These phrases are not mere words, but powerful declarations of our most cherished rights. The First Amendment protects our freedom of speech, religion, and assembly, essential elements of a free society. It asserts that the government has no authority to silence us or dictate our beliefs. This is not just a right, it is a shield against tyranny. The Second Amendment, on the other hand, safeguards our right to bear arms. It ensures that we have the means to defend ourselves, not just against common threats, but against any potential government overreach. It is a reminder that power ultimately resides with the people. If we lose either one of these rights, or if they become restricted in any way, all of our rights are at risk. These amendments are the cornerstones of our liberty. They are the lines drawn in the sand, marking the limits of government power. The Founding Fathers understood the delicate balance of freedom. They knew that without these fundamental protections, our democratic ideals could be easily compromised. The brilliance of the Constitution lies in its ability to limit government while empowering the individual. As we navigate the complexities of modern governance, let us not lose sight of these foundational principles. Our rights are not just privileges granted by the state. They are inalienable freedoms that must be vigilantly protected. In understanding the Constitution, we gain a deeper appreciation of the foresight and wisdom of those who crafted it. They knew that true freedom requires eternal vigilance and a steadfast commitment to the principles that define us as a nation. Let us honor their legacy by safeguarding these rights, ensuring that they remain intact for future generations. For in these words, "Congress shall make no law," and "shall not be infringed," lies the essence of our freedom. Stay frosty, patriots. Our rights are under attack like never before. Please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the foundations of our liberty. Keep your head down and your powder dry.